I get a lot of comments from people that tell me like, oh man, I like Asmongold, but I don't like Zack, or like vice versa, right? I like Zack, but I don't like Asmongold. I found myself not watching Zack Radar, only YouTube videos. Realized those are remnants of the old stream to show. I remember when Zack Radar was a supplement stream, after party kind of thing was kind of nice, but now I feel like I'm losing interest. It's like it became a vehicle for CatDany and the boys. I love you, Asmon. I had tons of fun with Zack Rar, but I really feel ready for Asmongold to return. And damn, I hope that McConnell shows up. I hope the comeback is happening soon. It's kind of like you know what I was talking about before about like the authenticity shit, where like the Island Boys, I think the reason why they were like really popular is because the people, like, they could see that like this was a real thing. Like they walk the walk and they talk the talk. They got shit tattooed on their forehead. And I do think people people are like really sensitive and shit to the way that you act, because there's a lot of people out there that are looking for like that personal experience in a way, right? That where they feel like they're closer to you for whatever reason, or something like that. And yeah, that's the way I see it. It could be alien level viewers who are tied to the Asmon persona, which is fine. Well, the thing is, like, it's not even like, I've always felt that it was kind of weird, right? Whenever people talk about like what the like the persona versus like me, I've always felt that was kind of like a weird. It was like a weird thing, because like I've never really looked at it from that perspective. Like the way I've always looked at it is, I speak louder. I try to enunciate my words, so like it's easier to understand what I'm saying. And also, like, the other real reason, the truth is that I have a really boring, monotone voice naturally. Like, I have a very low, boring, monotone voice. And if you go back and you watch my old videos, that, like, there's a reason why people think that people would tell me that, like, oh, sometimes I put on your Zack Rar videos for ASMR. You know why? Because they help you go to sleep. So yeah, you're right. I do try to change that and do that kind of stuff. Absolutely. Speaking louder, man. People think that you're pretending to do that. I think so too. Yeah, I mean, definitely. And that's basically effort to entertain. Basically, yeah. I mean, like whenever I do the Zack Rar streams, I pretty much just go live and stream whatever I feel like streaming, talk about whatever I feel like talking about, and that's about it. You know what I mean? Like that's really just about it. People think you have multiple personality disorder. Yeah, and like that's kind of like what happens is like I get a lot of comments from people that tell me like, oh man, I like Asmongold, but I don't like Zack, or like vice versa, right? I like Zack, but I don't like Asmongold. It's the same person. It is. It's the same guy. Like it's just like I say the same stuff. Like there's nothing I would do on one stream. Doing Asmon voice hurt your throat a lot. Well, it's not like really an Asmon voice. It's like if I'm out with people, I just try to speak more clearly and I speak up, because the truth is that I am a very quiet person. I don't like, I never, this might sound weird, right? I have never raised my voice in another person before, probably in my life. Like outside of like yelling at somebody in like a video game or something like that. Like I never yell at somebody. I've never done this. And you can ask any of my friends, right? If they've ever even seen me do something like this. Like ask Cody or Zack. Yeah, ask Cody or Zack. I mean, they've known me for 20 years, right? There it is. And so it to me, like I am a very, very like modest, like mild-mannered person. So like I have to like kind of, I know that about myself, and I know that is insulting someone by raising your voice. No, I'm not afraid of insulting someone by raising my voice. I just think that it's never, if I have to raise my voice at someone, I don't want to be around them. So instead of raising my voice at them, I just leave. You see what I'm saying? It's like there's never been a point where I've ever had to do it to another person to solve a problem. Like raising your voice is never going to solve a problem unless you're talking to somebody that can't hear very well. That's about it. I don't know. Like if people, like it's the same thing with like fighting or like having a sort of like physical altercation. I think there's a lot of people that, they get into that kind of stuff and they kind of spend a lot of time watching like action movies and that kind of stuff, and they're like aggressive, and it's like, this is, if like this like mass shooter was there and I was there, I would fucking tackle them and take the gun. It's just like it's a fantasy, man. And the reality, like, you ever seen like a real fight, especially between like two grown men? It's so scary. Because you never know what's going to happen. Like, it's so scary, especially if it's out on the street. And yeah, it's like this like hero fantasy that like young guys, and I think guys in general, get into. Like, I think everybody does, right? I mean, I do every once in a while. Everybody gets into that kind of a fantasy. But the reality is that, like, I never put myself in a position where that would ever happen. Adrenaline pumping that? Yeah, I never do that. Because I don't want to be around people that do that. Yeah, raising a voice can teach someone who's not that smart, but you believe in his being. Well, that's the thing, is like, if someone's so stupid that I have to yell at him in order to get him to see my perspective, I don't want to be around them. It's that simple. Yeah, I don't want to be around them like that. I don't want to have to like yell at somebody to get their attention. Like, if this is something that they need in order to like communicate with them, I'd rather just communicate with somebody else. Try that with abusive parents. The thing is, like, I think people like to bring up their own personal example as if this is some kind of like do you really think that whenever I'm talking about this, do you really think I'm judging you for like how you interact with your abusive parents? Like, do you really think that like that's part of the conversation? Because it's obviously not. Like, this is obviously fucking not. Like, I don't know how to deal with that. I've never had to deal with that, thankfully. And that's about Stunlock. Well, wait, what do you mean Stunlock? Why are you telling me to move on? What are you telling me? What are you telling me to talk about? Like, what do you mean Stunlock? I don't tell me to move on. If I wanted to talk about something, I talk about it. That's the fuck are you talking about Stunlock? I literally made a comment. I read somebody's message in chat. It's just so cringe, man. Just like, stop. I hate the move on Andes. Yeah, like, I check out weird as soon as he reacts. Yeah, bro, like, fuck that. So listen, all I'm saying really is I think that, like, what my point is that I guess, like, I kind of got off topic, right? I mean, what I'm saying is, like, I never yell at anybody, and I never raise my voice at people, and to be honest, like, I never say mean shit to people. Like, I never do, like, on a personal level. I never do that. Like, because I don't like, you don't have the kind of interactions that you have on the internet in real life. You don't have, like, people that come up to you and, like, just start making fun of your hairline. Like, that kind of stuff doesn't happen. It's like, on a personal level, like, this is not like, you don't talk like that to people in real life. It doesn't happen. So, it's different, obviously, because of that. And like, yeah, as I said before, I am a extremely chilled out, relaxed person in real life, and I am just extremely monotone. I have a very low voice, and that is just how I am. I have a completely monotone, low voice. And if you go back and you watch, like, some of my earlier videos, you'll see that. Yeah, you'll see that. And anyway, what I'm saying is, like, yeah, there's not really much of a difference between, like, my streams that I do on my main channel versus here, other than I don't really care if they're, like, entertaining in a way. And if I had to guess right here, this is probably a person, like, I'll see, like, what their logs are, right? If it's the same thing. There's nothing like I was going to check to see, because, like, there are some people that are, like, you'll look at their logs, and, like, their logs are talking shit to you, or like, they're pissed off about like something you said, and then they come on to Reddit, they're like, man, I don't know what it is, I just can't get into the streams anymore, bro, I don't know what it was, and I wanted to see if it was like one of those situations, you know what I mean? And so, like, yeah, that's what I was curious about, but it's not. It's just a random guy. But yeah, I mean, like, my personality and everything like that, I think that a lot of people try to spend... I feel like because I'm a very... I feel like I'm talking about this too much, but I'll just kind of finish what I'm saying, and then we're going to just look at some videos. But because I spend a lot of time, like, criticizing and talking about stuff, I think people view me, and I don't think this is really true. Like, I don't really consider myself a very, like, smart person. I don't. I can figure some things out, and I have a very good memory. And those are the two advantages that I have that many people don't have. However, it's mainly that I can remember things really, really well. And I do it so well that I will kind of know what will happen in a lot of cases because of all of the context that I have. And that is not really intelligence. It's not like being smart or anything like that. That's just it's just roll of the dice. And I think that's it. And because I talk a lot about that kind of stuff, I think people also, that they view me as being like like that they ask my opinion on stuff. Like, people want to hear my opinion on stuff. They want to hear, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And like, even like crazy stuff, like, what do you think about the Ukraine and Russia? It's like, bro, I don't know. I've never been there, right? I've never fucking been there. So basically, like, what happened, they ask me for my opinions on shit all the time. And I think because of that, people spend a lot of time trying to analyze my mind, right? And to try to, like, think, to figure out, like, why does he think something? Why do I not think something? Because, like, there's a million reasons for it. But I think that that's kind of the way that that's the way it happens. Because, like, I don't really see this type of analysis with like Mizkif, for example, right? Like, Mizkif gives his opinions on things. He, like, talks about drama for sure. But, like, the amount of people that are trying to like find a flaw in, like, what I'm saying or whatever, there are way more of those people in my chat than there are with, like, Mizkif or something like that. And I think that, I mean, a part of that is because I spend my entire stream talking about what I think about things. So you just have, there's 100 fish in a pool. It's a lot easier to catch a fish than if there's 5. So it does make sense. Psychology Andes? Yeah. And I think that's a big part of it. A lot of it is people trying to seem smarter by outsmarting you. Yeah, I think that's what a big factor is as well. Is that there's the idea that, like, oh, well, Asmongold, he's not really that smart, and I got him in this, and, like, he said this thing, but he also said this other thing, like, he's just a hypocrite, doesn't know what he's talking about, right? And I get this kind of, same thing happens with Hassan. Yeah, I think so, and I think that if I made more political commentary stuff, like, I don't think anybody, like, there's no, I feel like Destiny, actually, like, Destiny is, like, Hassan isn't as much of an asshole as I am, but Destiny is. And Destiny does political stuff. I'm just an asshole, and Hassan is just a politics guy, right? Like, and yes, just keep in mind, I do politics, and Hassan can also sometimes be an asshole. Absolutely. But the amount of an asshole that I am is much far and above. And that's really what I'm trying to say, is that because of that, obviously, like, Destiny, like, you read any thread about Destiny on LSF, it either starts with, there's 500 comments, and it has 100 upvotes, and it's like Destiny's take on fucking some issue, and every top comment is either, I can't believe this, and they have, like, a laundry list of all the bad things he did, and all the things that they feel like he is being, intellectually dishonest about. And then you have the same thing. Then if he ever says something that's like, you can't really argue against it, it's like, well, I don't like Destiny, but it always starts with that. And, like, I see this in, like, the WoW community with me too. Like, I'll always fucking see that. Yeah. And Hassan running rent-free in people's chat's head. Well, it's not about rent-free. It's just a conversation. There's no reason to get mad. But anyway, so that's the way that I see a lot of that kind of stuff. And like your insights, most of them coincide with my own. And like I explain, you think the way I do. Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with that, but there are a lot of people that don't. And I think that the way that I address a lot of things and I deal with a lot of things is like borderline like sociopathic in a lot of ways. And that's kind of I am, right? I mean, I am. And it's hard for me to usually like perceive like emotions as well as other people can. And because of that, I think that some people that are not on like that spectrum, not that spectrum, but the other spectrum that I'm talking about, they see that and it's alienating to them because they feel like this is a person who is, you know, like weird or wrong or another or something. And I think that makes them like emotionally on like a like very deep level opposed to me. And I see this a lot. Hyperanalysis spectrum. Yeah. And I hope you guys kind of see where I'm coming from, if that makes sense. There's a lot I'm really trying to say, and I just hope I'm not like saying nothing with what I'm saying. You're very logical, can be mistaken for sociopathic. Yeah, I am. Generally, I don't care about what people's feelings are as long as I think that I'm doing what's right. Like the thing is to me is that a lot of people feel the same way that I do, but nobody says it. Like the problem is that I say the things that you're not supposed to say. It's like everybody knows this and like this is kind of true, but then you just go and fucking say it. It's like, well, all right, man. Like we've got to call this bullshit out, you know? And that's the way I see it. You sound like an evil villain who's about to commit mass destruction. What the fuck? I'm talking about like you know, ISIS cryptocurrency scam. Like that's a little bit much, right? And so yeah, I think there's a lot that goes into the reason why people would like my streams on like Asmongold more. I focus more on like entertainment content versus like just conversational content and just like, you know, basically doing whatever the fuck I want. And also because I consciously do try to be less of an asshole on my main channel. And like on my second stream, I have no problem. Like if you can find this here, look, I saw this the other day. So one of the most popular clips, and the thing is, like, people love this stupid shit, and I think that's what the funniest thing about it is that like the main popular clips on this channel, Asmongold stun locked by a dumb viewer, 287K. Asmongold absolutely decimates 0 IQ viewer, 94K. Like, people love to see me fucking talk shit to people, right? Absolutely. Yeah, it's an 8-second... and the thing is, like, to me, it doesn't feel like it's an 8-minute... It doesn't feel like it's an 8-minute thing. It just feels like, well, this is just what you do, right? It's like, because I fucking hate people that act and talk like that. So I say, fuck you. I'm going to make you look stupid in front of everybody because you're fucking annoying, right? That's about it. Yeah, I don't have unwavering stance in real life either, exactly. And that's the way it goes. And to me, it's like not really a stun lock, but I know that to some people, and I know, the thing is, like, I look at like what I want to do, and I try to balance between what I want to do and what the audience wants to see. Whereas, like, in the Zack Roar channel, it is like 95% what I want. If I go live and I just want to pet battle all day, that is exactly what I'm going to do. And the thing is also, like with Asmongold, it's less, right? I don't know, like 80, 20, 70, 30. Like, the number is very hard to really say, but you can get kind of the idea. And there is a fulfillment that I get out of doing something that the audience wants to see and then them enjoying it. Like, I like the fulfillment of that, right? It feels good, right? You tell a joke, everybody laughs. Like, it always feels good. And like, anytime that happens, it's always easier to tell another joke, and you feel comfortable. It immediately makes you feel comfortable. So yeah, I mean, that's the way. And like, I always did this in school, and you know, I did this in videos as well and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, I think that like I spend a lot of time thinking about why I do things and like what to do and this kind of stuff. And so I have thought about this a pretty good amount. Do you enjoy streaming as well? Yeah, I do. Absolutely. Yeah, in a lot of ways. Not a sociopath because you have emotions, care about other people. As just a sociopath, usually very logical, intelligent, factual. So people throw that around. Well, I mean, like, again, I don't really want to debate, your self-diagnosis of me versus my self-diagnosis of me. Who the fuck knows? And to be honest, who the fuck cares?